Welcome back to the Worry-Free Retirement, and we start off our segment with a Tony in the Trenches all the way from a gentleman in Virginia, and he asked the following. Tony, I hear you make the statement that the financial world is more excited to get our money than they are to give it back. What do you mean by this, and can you provide us an example? Well, yes, I can. Actually, we have a lot of situations come up where we are rolling over a 401k to our process at Tony Walker Financial. In many cases, especially in the Louisville office, after people meet with me, ready to do business, then I'll take them down the hall to see my favorite son-in-law and fellow fiduciary, Trey Juergens. And recently, since he's the one that has to deal with a lot of these rollovers, he had this to say about a client who was trying to move their money over to us. So let's take a look and see what Trey found out. Well, good morning, Trey.
Good morning. Yeah, this one was a doozy. So during the onboarding process, I help a lot of our clients here in Louisville get the money from their current custodian, whether it's an IRA, 401k, and move it into the plan that we've laid out for them. Of course, we're looking for more use, flexibility, and control of their money, and this was far from that. So when we first reached out, I had to call the original custodian. This client had a statement. It showed where the money was. But when we called that custodian, it was actually in the process of migrating over to a new plan. We had to call the employer to just verify that it was legitimate, and they would be receiving a packet that explained the process of a new blackout period, which was 2 to 4 weeks from him even being able to move the money where he wanted to. It may or may not affect the current distributions he was receiving from that plan. And it was really just a big question mark. So we had to call the new custodian. That was a couple weeks after the initial phone call, giving them some time for that blackout period. The new custodian, of course, had some information, but not all. So we had to wait another week. Once we called back, we had to call the employer to just better understand what was going on, when the blackout period would occur. We called the new accounting firm. All information was moved over. However, they had made an error in the migration of his data, and his address was incorrect in the system. So in helping him try to identify himself to get clearance to the account, his address was wrong. So then he had to go through a process of identifying himself. It was going to require mailed paperwork, notary, all that. However, we bypassed that and called the accounting firm to correct the error. They were able to notify the new custodian, and then we were able to do a rollover call. We found out the accounting firm didn't update his address, so we had to go back through the same process 48 hours later. We finally got the ability to get that money moved over, a rollover into Charles Schwab, where he wanted the funds to go, and lay it out into the plan that we had for him. And once we did that, we had a conference. They were asking him questions about colors of vehicles that he owned in the 1990s. And finally, we got the authorization, and we had to scan and upload an image of his driver's license into an online secure portal. So about 12 hoops to jump through in order to help this gentleman in the onboarding process. But understanding that we get to do this every day and understand the ins and outs, most people will have to worry about retiring one time. We've got the expertise to help in this area.
Yeah, and I'm so fortunate to have you in the office, and of course Wes in the Lexington offices of fiduciary, and of course Heather in the Bowling Green office. So thank you for all you do. Obviously, folks, hopefully it's not going to be this much trouble to move your 401k over, but this is exactly why you need a trained local retirement specialist who, as Trey said, is there to provide use, flexibility, and control of your money. Well, thanks again, Trey, and you make it a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips, and be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.